Now, there's obviously just an endless, way too many films in this franchise to actually go ahead and cast every character that's ever been in any of them. But it's easy to cast the important ones from the first film, and then the ones that are kind of important to the rest of the franchises in general. I'm not going to sit here for like 40-minute video casting every character that's ever been in an Ice Age film, because the sequels are mostly garbage. Say it with me. Okay, good. So, we're just going to go ahead and start with Manny. Manny is your very traditional, very simple to cast kind of grumpy father figure in the later films. No, actually, the first film too, he takes on this kid even though he doesn't want to, he wants to be on his own, he takes on this whole herd. And there's a lot of arc for him if you really think about it, going from this really leading character, quite funny in his grumpiness, the emotions of having lost his previous family, to your basic annoying dad of a teenager character. Yeah, so basically, and I cast him a lot in these kind of roles, but it's just so easy to. I'm going to cast David Harbour as Manny, because Stranger Things has taught us that David Harbour should be cast forever in every grumpy dad figure role. Perfect. Great, that's all we needed to know about that. He just seems perfect, so perfect, too perfect for any of those roles, and I can't stop myself casting him every time one comes up. So I'll just keep doing it. Next. Sid is... Here's the thing, I saw some castings online for this that included like Manny, The Rock as Manny, and then Kevin Hart as Sid, and I vomit blood cloud, hypothetical vomit rage blood cloud coming out of my head when I see that kind of thing, because that's stupid. Mostly because Kevin Hart as Sid is just wrong. You do want someone funny as Sid, don't get me wrong. You need someone really good at like improv and kind of self-deprecating comedy. But you need someone better at voice acting as well. And that's what leads me to, and I've cast him quite a lot recently as well. This is just my best hits, this fan cast to some degree. Ben Schwartz as Sid, because not only is he an amazing improv comedian, if you've never seen Middleditch and Schwartz, their comedy specials on Netflix, just all improv, it's hilarious. He also is an incredible voice actor, DuckTales, Sonic, etc. And he's so good doing this kind of self-effacing, self-deprecating comedy, which is a big... It's Sid's entire character, that kind of comedy. That's all he's got. As a character, is he really a leading character for a franchise of 5 kids' movies? Is he? No. No, he's not. He has no story arc. He's still the mildly annoying, comedic, nothing character that he always has been and always will be. For the next 15 sequels. Ben Schwartz would do good things for that character, and he's done the kind of serious roles as well before that could lead you to having an arc for Sid. For once. For one film, please. Next. Diego, then, is another slight tightrope walk, but there is another simple answer. You see, for Diego, you need somebody who can play this happy, fun, kindly uncle role. But at first, he's got to come off as this dangerous, treacherous wild animal. And that's what he is. That is what he is for the whole first film. But he kind of comes around, joins the herd, and then he becomes just this soft pussycat. And then his arc... I mean, there was the one where he met the girl saber cat. Doesn't have a story in any of the other films, does he? No. No, he doesn't. But I'm going to cast Hugh Jackman. Quite simply, the man who literally has played a wild animal in Wolverine for so many films. That ferocity, that treacherousness, you can hear that in his voice quite easily. But at the same time, a lot of his other roles, he's playing this kindly, smiley, happy character. So it's the perfect mix of the two styles of acting, voice acting you want for Diego. He's got them both down to a T. Also, he could just keep his Australian accent for once. Why not? Accents, why would they matter in this film? It's already putting all these animals and then the dinosaurs underground in the same age as humans. Where are the humans, huh? Where are they in all the sequel? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's not question it. I'm not casting any of the humans, by the way. They don't talk. They're silent. And one of them is a baby. I can't cast babies. Somebody asked me to do a Rugrats fan cast in the comments recently. I can't cast babies. So that's how she played Diego. Next. Now, Scrat is also there, and you don't really need to think about casting him because he doesn't even need to make the kind of noises he does. And look, I can almost do it. So anyone can do it. But you just cast somebody who could do interesting voice acting like for characters like that, as well as potentially doing character work further if they wanted to expand on what Scrat does. They probably don't. That 5 films, he's just done the same thing, and it's more progressively dumb and over the top, and real diminishing returns on continuing to have him in the later films, but it's fine, it's fine. I'm going to cast Alan Tudyk because he's done those silly little noise voice acting roles before. He's also very funny. If they wanted to have Scrat talk at some stage or do something, they had like the Scratlantis whatever bit, and other Scrats talked there, so he could do that, or I don't know. Next. Soto is the main villain from the first one. I did not remember the name at all. He's the main saber-toothed cat, the leader of the pack that sends Diego to go get the baby. Why do they want the baby so badly? It is not even big enough to be a meal for one saber-tooth. So, he sends Diego out to do that. He's very obviously villainous from the start. He's got this deep, scary voice. So, as memey as it is, I kind of want to cast Liev Schreiber as Soto. Now, that's memey because in X-Men Origins Wolverine, he was the older, scarier, more obviously villainous brother to Wolverine. But at the same time, he's done several of these voice acting kind of roles before. I think I actually cast him as Freddy in a Five Nights at Freddy's fan cast a while back. That's the level of naturally scary that his voice is at. Doesn't matter what he does for it. Doesn't matter if he's playing the hero. His voice, his demeanor, it's all terrifying. So it's simple to cast him as that kind of quite basic villainous character. He wants the baby. Go get me the baby. Don't betray me. Gar. He's not a good villain, but yeah. Next. Zeke is the only other character I'm going to bother casting from the first one. He's the other sabered cat, the one that's all like and is quite beta-male to Soto and Diego being more alphas, and it's just kind of funny. Not really funny, but kind of funny. Yeah, and I'm basically just going to cast Eric Andre for that role. I've seen him in a couple of things recently and thought, yeah, he'd be quite good at doing these comedic side characters for voice acting. He's got quite a distinctive voice that would work well for a character like that, and he plays these hyperactive characters quite well, and that's all Zeke has. That's all he is. That's all that matters for him. So, yeah, next. Now, moving on, you need to cast at least a few of the main ones who are primary characters in the franchise, despite not being in the first one. All these animated franchises have people like that. If you're just doing a Shrek 1 fan cast, you wouldn't cast Puss in Boots. You know? So, similarly, you want to cast Ellie. God. They keep introducing more and more characters into this franchise, and therefore a lot of the characters they introduce become irrelevant. What is Sid or Diego's arcs in most of the sequels? Nothing. What is Ellie or Crash or Eddie's arcs after the second one, really? Nothing. But Ellie, fun character. She starts off as this fiercely independent character who's not really into any of them, and she's really weird as well, but then evolves into this really basic mother character. Really, really basic. No arc for herself, nothing going on. Doesn't even seem weird anymore, she's just there. And I'm going to cast Zoe Saldana, because while she is great at playing the Gamora, her very fiercely independent female action-y roles, she's also good at voice acting. I never quite thought of her as being as good as I actually think she is when I listen to her doing voice acting. And she's not there yet, but she feels like in a few years, like if they made the Ice Age live-action one now, then by the time she's playing that more mother character, she'd be around the right age for it. She'd definitely be reaching that stage of her career. A few years down the line. Not yet, but a few years down the line. Also, I feel like Gamora's relationship with Peter is in some ways similar to, she doesn't quite understand Ellie, everything about being a mammoth. She doesn't get them the way they are. It's similar to Gamora in some ways. Next, Crash and Eddie then are annoying as shit. They're just meant to be there for comedic side effect characters, which is also what Sid is all the time, and then also what Scrat is. And then they've got other characters that come in and are that as well. This is why none of the characters have story arcs, because most of them are just there for comedic effect, not to be characters. But Crash and Eddie, you want them to remain, but you want them to be more memorable, less annoying. I literally couldn't tell you if they are in the 4th and 5th film. Are they? I assume they must be, but I don't remember anything about them being in it. So I'm going to cast Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele, because they are an iconic comedic duo, and just anytime you need an animated duo that are there for comedic effect, who you don't want to come off as annoying. You want them to just be funny, not also be, like, quite irritating. And Crash and Eddie are definitely irritating as it goes on. So you want to get away from that. You want them to just be hilarious. And you look at Key and Peele as a comedic animated pair in Toy Story 4, and they work perfectly in those roles. So yeah, just try and get away from them being desperately annoying characters. Next, Peaches then. There's no point really casting Peaches. The idea of it being more focused on her as a teenage mammoth character is the kind of thing that makes me want to just stab myself in the eye. But yeah, you could just cast somebody like Alexei Underwood, who's still a teenager, despite the fact that if they made a live-action Ice Age today, then they wouldn't be casting a teenage Peaches until Alexei Underwood is like 30, but it's fine. And she's good. Alexei Underwood's just good in what I've seen her in. I think she could play the annoying, fed-up teenager or the better leading character, depending on what you wanted to do with her. I would desperately hope that if they make a live-action Ice Age, they don't get to the stage where they have Peaches, but they might. Next, and finally, there are so many more characters you could cast from across the other films, and I'm not saying that by not casting them that there aren't some that are worth casting, but this would be like a hugely long video if I tried to cast a lot of them. I'm not going to bother casting the pirates in that one, or the dinosaurs. I mean, they don't even speak any of the dinosaurs. Why do the dinosaurs not speak and every other animal does? It doesn't matter. Where did humans go after the first one? It doesn't matter. I'm going to cast Buck, because Buck is the best character that they introduce. I was going to say the best character they introduce after the first one, but honestly, maybe just the best character they ever have. He is the funniest character. He made Ice Age 3 my favourite of the sequels without question. Just because he woke up one morning married to a pineapple. An ugly pineapple, but he loved her. Great character, hilarious, random, all over the place. Totally madcap, but again, not annoying. Quite lovable in his madcapness. Madcapity. Doesn't matter. I'm going to cast Zach Galifianakis. Wow. Galifianakis. You know who I'm talking about, okay? He is great as these totally madcap, way out there characters who are just there for comedic effect, really. Again, Buck is another one. He's just there for comedic effect. Doesn't have a character arc or role. But he would be good. Zach Galifianakis would be good at that role. He's hilarious. And that's all you need. You just need comedy. There is no story arc. There is nothing that matters in any of these films outside of the first one. The rest of them are just happening. Things are just occurring. They don't matter. It's just happening. Ugh. And that is all for this one, folks. You go ahead and you subscribe down below if you want to check out way more fancasts. So many fancasts. We're approaching Fancast 100. Going to do something special and exciting. And if you want, you can join down there, get a membership to the channel, which allows you to go to the community page and vote on all the polls for upcoming fancasts, upcoming streams, other stuff, fun stuff. Subscribe. Do it.